All right.
Waiting on the stream to go live. Yeah, I want to spend like the first 5 minutes or so talking about we can spend
the channel.
Yeah, or the channel. But I was gonna do the first 5 minutes is gonna be a no spoilers. Like no spoilers
So
for
we're
the
gonna try
first
to
5
do no
minutes.
spoilers.
Or no,
Oh, okay, for
like
the first
just
5 minutes.
just the first 5 minutes, no spoilers. See, it says it's live.
Here, let me go to YouTube and see if. Is it all one word?
No, loose cannons is 2 words.
Apparently, there was a movie from 1990 called Loose Cannons.
Yep.
Filter.
There should be a button that says go live, but I don't know which one. Okay, we got it.
All right, we up?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just see. It's got us going. I got to use Microsoft Edge. That's not going to last for long, but okay. Yeah, we're up. We're up.
Okay, then.
All right. We're live, so we're I'm gonna edit it later. Put it into the right spot. I sound good. You sound good. You ready to start?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Welcome to Loose Cannons. This is our review of Rogue One, Star Wars story, the movie that just came out, yesterday? Or did you see it on opening night, or did you see it Friday?
I did see it opening night, Thursday night, December,
Really?
I believe it was 15th.
Yeah,
December
15th, yeah.
opening night.
Dude, that is awesome. I saw it last night at 12 a.m. I went in. It was the 10 o'clock. It was a 10 o'clock premiere, and it ended at 12 o'clock. And we walked into and then we walked in to watch the last 30 minutes in a different theater, right after the movie ended. Rewatched the ending. I love the ending of that movie. So what do you give it?
The
What do
ending
you
was
give
really good. Out of 5 or out of 10?
Let's see. Out of 10.
Out of 10, I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Okay. I'm gonna give it an 8. I got it at an 8.
I had a few gripes with it, but overall it was really good, and it was a great addition to the canon of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It expanded a lot, gave us some new faces, and I loved the way it ended.
Really? I liked all the new faces. I got a few bad points. I got a few good points. Overall, it needed more blood. That's my number one gripe of the entire movie. It needed blood. It was a great movie for what they were going with. I loved what it was. It wasn't for. I don't feel like it was for Star Wars fans who only pay attention to the movies. I don't even feel like it was for people who loved the original trilogy. I believe this movie
No,
was
I feel this one
for.
was strictly for people who love the canon and the
I
lore of the Star Wars world.
Yes, I think this was for the people who watch the Rebels and the people who watch Clone Wars. Hey, you got a little bit of an echo on your end. Turn down whatever you got.
Let's see.
You got headphones in?
Yeah, I got headphones in. Better?
Yeah, this is better. And,
Right.
it was just flowing over to the mic. I loved the idea of finding out how we got the Death Star plans in the first place, and but I feel like this movie was more for people who liked Rebels, people who liked the Clone Wars. There was a Clone Wars. Did you notice the Clone Wars character in the movie?
I did not.
You've seen Clone Wars, right, all the way through?
I saw it to about season 4, and then I dropped off.
Oh, really? Well, there's a character in season 5, and in this movie, Saw Gerrera. Is a character in the Clone Wars. You know
Wasn't he the general?
no the black guy at the beginning of the movie with the armor.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's from Star Wars Clone Wars. They had a 4-episode deal on him. He was a leader of a rebellion on his home planet. I thought that was pretty neat. And there's a lot of cameos, a lot of Easter eggs.
I think he was one of the strongest points of the film.
Really?
I thought so.
I thought that entire deal. All right, from this point on, spoilers. We tried to go spoiler free, just give you what our initial thoughts of the film were. Spoilers at this point on. They all die in the end. If you made it to this far, sorry. You should have left when I gave you the spoiler warning. But they all die in the end. But
I mean, even if we didn't give the spoiler warning, people should know they all die in the end, even without seeing the movie, because of episode 4, when Leia says, "Oh, we lost a lot of lives trying to get these plans."
She never said that. That was episode 6.
Who said it?
Episode 6. They said many Bothans died for these plans. That was for the second Death Star, not the first one. We didn't know anything about the first one.
This was for the first.
It was for the second. Many Bothans died.
Even then, though, you can assume a lot of people are going to die.
Oh yeah,
those plans.
It was Admiral Akbar who said it too, by the way.
Oh, that's who it was. Okay.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I knew a lot. I knew they weren't all going to survive, and I went in guessing they were all going to die. But I love the war movie feel of it. I love the war. I wish it was rated R. Honestly, I wish this movie was rated R.
I would love to see a Star Wars rated R.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want any cussing. If there was any rated R Star Wars movie, I would not want a single cuss word in it. I would want it rated R for like blood and just what war is.
Sheer
Yeah, just yeah. If you notice, every time a trooper was shot or anything, they're just laying on the ground. There's no blood around them. There's nothing to show that they're dead. It just looks like everyone got knocked out. That's my one point in the movie that I didn't like. And I know it wouldn't really be Star Wars if there was blood, because there wasn't really ever Star Wars with blood in Star Wars in the first place. But I would have loved to have seen people get shot and some just pools of blood around people. Actual war, show the mayhem. This was supposed to be about the grits of war. And I'm a little disappointed. I'm disappointed in how many cameos came in from the original trilogy. And a lot of people are bashing the music. I'm not really going to bash the music that much. I didn't have a problem with it.
I thought it was fine.
I've heard a lot of people bash the music, say it wasn't memorable. Well, my deal is I'm not really good with music in the first place. I know lines and lyrics. I don't know tunes, and I can barely sit here and hum you very many tunes at all. But it wasn't memorable. Do you know any original tune in your head from the movie? But I don't think that was the point of the movie for the music. I think it was for the war.
I think, as far as this movie goes, I don't think like Star Wars has always been big on music, but if you ever notice, like on the TV shows or in anything that's not a numbered episode, like episodes 1 through 7,
Yeah.
the music isn't that prominent and it's really not that memorable. And that's always been a thing with Star Wars. So to me, yeah, I'm sure the music was good from what I remember, but it's not meant to be memorable. Not like the rest of them. Speaking of the music, though, I was very happy that they didn't do the text scroll at the beginning.
I was so happy about that. So happy. I'm sitting there. The movie was coming out, and you saw Lucasfilms and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there, and I was just saying to myself, no scroll, no scroll, no scroll, no scroll, no scroll, and no scroll. And I'm like,
then it
yes!
went straight into the movie.
I know.
And I was like, oh, thank God.
I
did like what they did, though. They did it kind of Clone Wars style, where it plays a little bit first, and then it goes Star Wars, Rogue One, and then it cuts back to the movie.
Yeah, that's so different. We've never seen that before, and the comparisons with this movie to the other episodes, I think they're unfair because this movie was not trying to be an episode. The comparisons
it was trying to be an in-between tale.
The comparisons that you need to be making with this film is with Rebels and Clone Wars. That's the comparisons it needs to be. That's what it was trying to be. There was a lot of callbacks to the Rebels and to the Clone Wars, like I said. This is
and in
the
that
fans of those.
It succeeded.
Oh, it succeeded. There are a few points I'm taking off because, unlike Ben, which you'll learn later if you watch this, or if you watch the last stream me and Ben did, he's all in on the canon. He doesn't look at a movie in the way that a movie is made. I look at a movie the way the movie's made, and I got a few points to mark off, and the way that the movie is made, and things that could have been better. And there was a little too much fan service in this movie for me. Too much fan service to the wrong people, I believe, not to the right people. Movies like this, I don't think movies like this, which they have to do this for the money, but I think movies like this one should have the fan service to the fans of the EU and fans of the expanded universe, as in the expanded canon, not just stuff that are just the movies, you know.
See, I can see where you're coming from, but I kind of have a slight disagreement, specifically with this movie because of its placement.
I agree.
The beginning of episode 4, all those cameos.
No, not all of them.
Or those.
All right, I'll list off the cameos I didn't like. I'll list off the cameos I didn't like. R2-D2 and C-3PO. I thought that was pointless.
Okay, I can agree with that one.
I liked the cameo in The Force Awakens. I didn't like it here. All right, I felt like that was forced. I felt like it was unneeded. All right.
I can agree with 3PO and R2-D2.
Seeing Leia's face from the front, I would mind it from the side, but not from the front.
I'm gonna disagree with that one.
Okay. And seeing the two dudes, the dude who got his arm cut off in the 4th movie. I don't know his name, but you know the weird looking guy
Imperial?
who's wanted. Yeah, no, the guy who's wanted on 12 systems, and Obi-Wan cut off his arm because he was threatening Luke. Yeah. Seeing those two guys in the movie, didn't like that.
I didn't even notice them.
Really? They got a line.
I didn't see him.
Oh, they bumped into him, and he got a line.
My two freaking brothers kept trying to talk to me throughout the whole film. I'm like, shut up! I'm trying to watch.
That sounds like how I am. And so those are the Easter eggs I didn't like. There's a lot of stuff that I did like. A few callbacks that I did like. You know what? I was going to this movie hoping and praying that there would be no lightsabers. I did not want a lightsaber. But the one deal that we did get with a lightsaber, it was completely worth it.
Yeah, I kind of didn't want a lightsaber in this movie, but then the way it was done with Vader, just basically the beginning of episode 4, they couldn't have done it any better.
No, it would have been cool. It would have been cool.
What they decided to do.
Yeah, it would have been cool to have him walk in and just use the force, just show the power of the force, and just invisibly make everyone go away. But then it would not make sense because why wouldn't he just get the guy with the card to start with? They had to do it in the way that they did it, and that might have been one of the most impactful.
So the card could get out.
Yeah, So that might have been one of the most impactful scenes in the entire movie, because you're watching these guys. This is someone they'd never seen before. This is Darth Vader. They have no idea what's going on, and it almost looked like as if you're throwing a bunch of mice in a lion pit, man. They don't know how to avoid it. You know?
They really got screwed.
Yeah, that was so great. Also, seeing Darth Vader's house.
Character.
I thought that was I thought it was really interesting. We got to see Darth Vader's home.
That was an interesting little thing.
Yeah, that's something
and it didn't overstay its welcome either. It was there just long enough to notice it, and then it was gone.
I mean, it's something that you never really think of. Like, now it makes sense now that you think of it, that of course he would have a place that would be his home, right? He's not constantly
he'd be alone from everyone else.
He's not constantly on a ship. Like, he's got to have a place to sleep. It makes sense that he would have a home, but you just never think about it. I thought that was neat.
So I want to talk about two specific Imperials that I was very happy to see.
Tarkin?
But I also Torgan and the dude in white. What was his name?
Krennic.
Yeah, Krennic. Okay,
yeah, Orson Krennic.
I loved Krennic.
He never came off as evil to me. He never came off as evil. I loved it.
He came off to me as evil, but not of his own free will. Like, he was kind of forced to do it.
He never came off as evil. He came off as just misguided in a way. I know it's bad. It's hard to say that because he killed so many people and just call him misguided. But he seems like the dude who just wanted success. He just wanted to be viewed as a successful person. But Tarkin came off as evil.
Yeah.
And I heard. Did you know Tarkin? Did you know Tarkin was?
I really want to talk about.
Did you notice he was completely CGI?
See, that's what I was going to bring up. I was like, he looked CGI, but then there were some shots that were so good. I really couldn't tell.
I never guessed it. I went back and watched some reviews, and Hello Greedo was bashing him because he was CGI, and it went in 100%. But I thought it was well beyond the uncanny valley. I had no clue it was CGI to start with. I thought it was an actor, and I thought it was an actor they got somewhere close to him, and then they did the CGI on his face to put it over the edge.
Closer.
That's how I think they did Leia and Tarkin, but I think they did a better job on Tarkin than they did Leia. I think with
Leia, they actually used the original actress, and they just...
No, they didn't. She completely CGI. She was completely CGI.
Really? She didn't look like it.
No. What I thought with Leia, originally I thought they used, not the original actress, I just thought they used an actress that was somewhere near. And they use a little bit of CGI and makeup to get her to the point. But I would have rather seen them as or at least Leia as a played actress. All right? But Tarkin was so close, so good, I never even noticed he was CGI. That was, thinking about it, that's probably one of the best CGI ever.
As of the current time, yes.
Yeah. I mean, that was well beyond the uncanny point. Leia kind of was on the uprising of the uncanny valley, not quite out of it, but Tarkin was well beyond it.
He looked so good, and that was incredible to me, because I really thought they had got an actor, or they had got the original.
Well, the original guy's been dead since 94.
So I didn't know that. See,
original Tarkin's been dead since 94.
See, I don't bother to learn the deaths of people.
Well, think of it this way: the original Tarkin was like 68 in 1977. I highly doubt they would have gotten him for this movie.
Yeah, and even if he was still alive, he'd have had to have a walker. Watch
Tarkin come out with a little hurricane or something. Just
the AT-ATs.
Very interesting.
That was great. I loved the reveal of the AT-AT.
Did you notice that? Did you notice that they were hollow? Did you notice they were hollow? I did notice that. I thought that was a neat twist. These were not the same AT-ATs that we saw on Hoth. These were the first AT-ATs.
These were basically prototypes.
Yes, but they were not the same ones. They were like prototypes. They looked more like a cargo kind of AT-AT And
It
yes,
wasn't meant to carry soldiers or deal mass damage. It was
yeah.
meant to move things
I
around.
was about to say, yeah, of course, AT-ATs are cargo ships, if you say it that way, cargo vehicles, but they looked more cargo than the ones on Hoth, if that makes any sense.
It also went down a lot easier. I noticed the X-wings shot the knee out of one of them, and
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
collapsed.
I
But when they
thought, I
tried to
mean,
do that on Hoth with the snow speeders, nothing.
I didn't like that. I thought that was, I mean, and then the two X-wings blow one up just instantly. I guess it's because, I mean, yes, the X-wings are much more powerful than a snow speeder, but still, that seemed to take away from Hoth a little bit for me. It seems like they needed a little bit more hitting of it before it just explodes. But the scene was great. The scene was great.
I would disagree solely due to the fact that we know an X-wing is infinitely stronger than a snowspeeder will ever be, as well as these specific AT-ATs were not to the same durability and strength as the ones on Hoth.
Which was revealed because they were hollow, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they would have nowhere near the structural integrity.
Therefore, they would go down so much easier, and with an X-wing being that much stronger, it would go down in no time.
I can see that. Other cameos I saw. General Sindela. Hera?
Yes.
Did you notice Hera was mentioned from the Rebels series?
I noticed that Hera was mentioned, but I didn't really think anything of it because I haven't watched that much of Rebels yet.
And Yavin, when they were on Yavin and they were dispatching the people to when they were dispatching everybody to Scarif, they mentioned General Syndulla, and then later on we saw the Ghost ship. So we know the Ghost crew was there at Scarif. It'll be interesting if they make that into an episode of Rebels.
That would be interesting. I really need to catch up on Rebels, though.
You do. We need to do a review series on it.
Definitely.
It's getting really good. It's getting really good, Rebels is.
But there's one thing above all else that this movie did that I wish every other Star Wars film or any piece of media would do.
What?
When we go to a new planet, it says what it is.
Thank you. Yes, I
was so happy they did that. I was like, thank you. This makes life so easy.
Although they never said where which planet Vader's home was. Was that Mustafar?
I don't think it was Mustafar.
It didn't. I'd
have to rewatch it.
It had the lava planet of Mustafar, but it never came off as Mustafar to me.
But Mustafar's not the only lava planet.
I know, but it would make sense.
They have a whole galaxy.
Yeah, but I've already heard people referring to it as Mustafar, but it didn't come off as Mustafar to me. I hope it's not. You know me, I don't like things connected. I don't like everything connected.
I like some things. You don't like everything connected, whereas I'm kind of, and Ben likes everything connected.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of in the awkward middle ground.
Yeah. Well, to everyone who thought that, everybody who thought Jen would be Rey's mom, well, screw you guys, she's dead.
Yeah, I was like, that was actually something when at the very beginning of the film, I was really concerned. I was like, I hope this doesn't tie into episode 7.
God, yeah, I agree. Also,
I was like, oh, please don't be the origin story of Rey. That would ruin it all.
Mm-hmm. Also, another thing, too many head cradles. Too many last word dying breaths in this damn movie.
Oh my god, yes. So many people got a last breath, and I was like, no, enough.
Look. You know what I loved about you know why I loved the scene with Vader? You know why I loved the scene on the beaches? It's because the rebels were dying like dogs, alright? These are rebels. This is war. In war, you die like a dog. You don't get a last breath in war. Alright? That's why I wanted more blood. And the fact that Chirrut got himself a last word, I thought that was so cheesy. I didn't mind Galen getting a last word, but Chirrut getting one.
No, Galen deserved the last word.
Yeah, but Chirrut, I thought it would be way more impactful if Baze watched Chirrut, and they're two best friends, they're best friends with each other, and he just watched his best friend die like a fucking dog. I would have loved that. Instead of having him get a last word and inspire him to go on the suicide run, I would rather see Baze watch his best friend die like a dog. Can't get to him.
And then
see
angry.
the ship explode and know that everything is lost. Turn around and say the force is with me and I am with it, or whatever he was saying, and then go off. I loved that. I would have loved that.
That was also one of my favorite things from the entire film. Was just every time he had to do something, he was like, I'm with the force is with me.
Yes, that's what it was.
I loved it because it really showed that this is a time when the force
no one knew how the force
low
worked.
Point. No one, like, all the Jedi are dead, basically.
Yeah.
The force is just this mythical thing now that no one believes in anymore.
This guy's
like religion.
Yeah, this guy's religion was the force. He didn't believe in the force as in using the force. He believed it as if it was God to him. The force was a god to him. Yes.
He believed in it basically the way that I think it was either Yoda or Obi-Wan. I forget which one it is.
Well, Obi-Wan described the force as
it weaves through everything, and it basically pulls like invisible strings around the universe.
And I loved that. And he was just a guy who just believed that the force was happening. Honestly, I don't think it was helping him that much. I think a lot of it was luck. And I get to that because you never heard the force's theme when he was using it. When he was quote unquote using it. Of course, when he shot down the TIE fighter, I believe that, but I don't believe it was helping him as much as he thought the Force was helping him. A lot of stuff that he assumed was the Force was just coincidence in other people. I thought that was very clever. Because we did hear what the Force sounds like. When Darth Vader was using the Force, we heard it. In Episode 7, when Rey used the Force, we heard it. We never heard it with this guy. I love that. It showed that he was not a Force user. He is not a Force user. He was
very in tune with the world around him.
Yes. Yes. Also,
way,
him shooting down that fighter. No, they can't. Also, him shooting down that TIE fighter. Good shot. Too much. Too much for me. I wouldn't have minded if he hit it, but that one gun taking down a TIE fighter, a little too much.
I don't know. TIE fighters aren't that strong.
They're not, and he just so happened to hit it in his weakest point. But
they're built for speed, and
I would have rather seen him hit it and it veer off to the right than he hit it and it explodes. Because later on, he shot people with that gun, and if that gun is powered enough to take down a vehicle, that gun should also be powerful enough to explode somebody. And he hit people with the gun; they just fell over like any other blaster.
Well, then we also have to take into account, though, the fact that that TIE fighter had probably already been hit a few times.
Could be. What's your main thing against the movie right now?
My main problem with the movie, I had two major problems with the whole film. One, they had way too many characters that they didn't say their names to.
Yes.
It was like, oh yeah, this is their name, and we're only going to say it once, maybe twice.
All right, hey, just
that
a little
was
challenge.
A big problem for me.
Little challenge. Can you name off everybody in the Rogue One crew?
Hell no. I don't know. I can't remember any of their names. I remember like SC something was the robot.
K2SC.
The Imperial. Yeah, K2SC. I remember they got an Imperial pilot who betrayed the Empire. I don't remember his name. That was a big problem with me. They said his name like once, and then they referred to him for the rest of the film as the Imperial pilot or that pilot.
Yeah, I agree with that. His name was Bondi.
Bondi.
Yeah. Also, I wish he was a little bit more crazy. Remember he said that this thing will make you lose your mind.
This thing makes men lose their minds. He never came off as he had lost his mind.
He came off as he was scared and he was scared, confused, and out of his element. He never came off as a crazy guy who happens to know the information. Like he did at first when he was like, I'm the Imperial pilot. I'm the Imperial. I wish I had that more. It's like I'm the Imperial
Yeah, I
pilot.
kind of wish he'd have kept that all the way through,
Yeah. All right. So
or at
here's the
least for
entire
a little
crew.
longer.
Here's the entire crew. Cassian Andor is Cassian Andor. He's the main the Spanish guy. Jalen Urso,
Okay.
obviously main character. Chirrut, the blind guy. K2SO. Baze, the blind guy's best friend, which I never heard his name mentioned at all.
I'm sure they probably said it once.
They had to have. Also, I did love that character, but I wish we got to see, we heard more of his background.
Yeah.
Ruse Scott, that's the guy, that was remember when they split up into 3 teams? You had Bondi in the ship, you had Jen and Cassian in the base with K2SO. Ruse Scott was the guy on the ground with the Rogue One crew on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they had the commander on the ground, one of the members on the team. They showed it to him, but I never got his name, and it honestly confused me a little bit because I didn't know who the guy was.
Yeah, there was a lot of people, especially when after the council met and they said they will not be attacking the base for the plans, and just suddenly like 10 people show up and you have no idea who they are, but all of them get a decent amount of screen time.
Yeah. Pal, a little alien dude. I'll show you the picture of it here. Wait, I got to pull you back up. Share screen again. You see my screen?
Not at the moment. Give it a second to.
Alright.
Oh, that little dude?
Yeah, that little dude right there.
Yeah.
Pal, he's
I'm
considered
scrolling
on the
around
group. They did take a few shots of him and Bondi Rook, which I loved his character. I just wish he was a little more crazy. You know,
I agree.
I wish we saw more of him. He was probably my favorite character. And it would have been great to see him a little crazier or something. All the characters were great characters. I would just love to see them explored. And obviously, I think we're going to go see them explored through Rebels. And I think we'll see them explored through comics. Which, yes, I say that's what this movie was for. Or for the people who enjoy that. But I think they should have still went after them in the movies a little harder. I feel like they introduced a lot of people that they're going to explore through comics and spin-off series. I think is what they're going to do.
Like we said, this movie is strictly for the people who are into the expanded universe.
And it should be, but to me, I think they should have spent more of the first hour of the movie focused a little bit more on the backstory of the characters. Because it was really jumbled. The first hour was jumbled. The last 45 minutes was fantastic, though.
Yeah.
But I will say the whole scene on what was the desert planet called that they were on with Saw Gerrera. They mentioned its name a lot. It's just my fault for not remembering the name.
I can't remember the name of the planet, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. But but that planet, the whole time they were on that planet with Saw Gerrera, with Saw Gerrera and his forces, it reminded me eerily of what's going on in Syria right now. It reminded me eerily of ISIS, and I even leaned over to my buddy. It's like, oh my god, the good guys are ISIS now.
No, I want to talk about that about him for a second.
Oh, Jeddah.
Something that they did with him that I really liked about him was the fact that since he was so old, he had to actually use an oxygen tank.
Yes, I thought that was badass.
I was so grateful for that. It was a small detail.
Yeah.
But it was just right.
Yeah. By the way, this is what he looked like in the Clone Wars.
Let me let's come back to this.
Right here.
I see him.
Yeah. That's his sister. That's
young.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the Clone Wars still canon at this point?
Yes, yeah, it's 100% canon.
Okay, I'll rewatch it probably. over the holidays.
I'm rewatching it right now.
If there was one thing above all else, though, in the movie that I have to praise Disney for, it's the fact that they killed all of those characters.
That was a gutsy move.
I think it was the right call.
It was the right call.
Because all of these characters, yeah, they're going to have stories about, like, before Rogue One, but it was the right call for them all to die because it's a between story.
Yes.
And none of those characters are in episodes 4, 5, or 6.
And here's another interesting part, and I hope it keeps going down this way, because they never mentioned the name of the people who got the plans, ever. And throughout the entire original trilogy, they never did. I hope we never hear their name, Rogue One, after that, because Rogue One died there. That the people that they transmitted it to was the flagship. The only people who knew that they were Rogue One, that Rogue One was the team that got the plans, was the general. What's his name? The Mon Calamari general.
The
Mon Calamari general. I forgot his name. Of course, that's one of my bad points of the movie. They didn't do well with names. No one remembers any of the names of anybody in the movie. But the only person who knows that it was Rogue One that got the plans was him, and he died. That ship died.
So Rogue One should be dead. No one should even
know that Rogue One did it. No one. These people will not go down as heroes. No one even knows who got the plans. All they know is that Rebel forces spent a lot of time.
Went in.
Yeah, and got the plans. No one knows who did it. No one knows the names of the people who did it. No one knows how they did it. Yeah, no one knows how they did it. All we know is the cost, and all the main characters know is that a lot of men died for these plans. I loved that. I thought that was fantastic. The way that was, you don't see a hero moment for these people. You don't see any celebration. They got nothing out of it. They sacrificed themselves. I loved it.
They went down for nothing, basically.
Well, no, they didn't go down. They went down for everything, but they're not going to go down in history. This is complete self-sacrifice. Yeah.
But but no one will ever know their names. There will never be stories made for them.
Yeah, they're not legends. These are just normal people who did this.
Like they never existed.
Yeah. And like at the very beginning of the movie, it did a bad job of introducing every character but Jyn. I think it did.
Because Jyn got a whole 10 minutes.
Yeah, but everyone else Bonti, he got the Imperial pilot. All he got was him running up to a dude, trying to defect from Jeddah, basically, or trying to defect. That's basically all he got. And then he got captured. Or no. That wasn't even him at the very beginning of the movie. That was Cassian, wasn't it?
At the very beginning of the movie,
when they're at that trading post.
Was
that Cassian or was that Bondi?
It was Cassian.
It was Cassian, yeah. Wait, how did that dude die he was talking to? Did he kill himself? Did he get shot?
I think he got shot.
Yeah, but where did the shot come from? We didn't see a shot. We just saw him die.
I don't know. I'll have to rewatch.
I do too.
I'm probably gonna go see it again.
I'm
probably gonna go see it again when Ben comes into town. I might go see it with him.
I'm definitely gonna go watch it again. Yeah.
I mean, it was a really good movie, but it had quite
rough.
A few low points.
It was rough. I would never pin anything as a low point for it. I wouldn't say anything was really a low point. I would say this was more of really, really rough. And it should have been either longer or shorter. They opened a lot of characters that they never really closed. They opened a lot of characters that they never went into or explored.
Yeah.
And that, in my mind, they shouldn't have actually had. they just shouldn't have had.
I would say it should have gone longer, so that way they could have touched more on backstory and
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But I think the way they did it now, if they weren't going to go longer, they should have cut it shorter and focused more on the battle and more of the war plans. Although I did love seeing how the Rebel Alliance gathers around and makes decisions, I thought that was really good. It reminded me, and this is what it reminded me of, honestly, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. It reminded me of what was it, the third one?
Yeah, the third Pirates of the Caribbean, when they all gathered around the table, and they had the 9 pieces of 8 or something, whatever it was called. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it reminded me of that as well. It also reminded me of something from Kingdom Hearts. It reminded me of when all the organization members gather around in the chamber, and they all have their meetings.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not good with Kingdom Hearts. That's your thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it reminded me of. I thought it was really cool to see these people arguing, and that one dude even said, "It's over." One guy said, "It's over. We might as well just surrender." And I thought that was really clever. Like we got to remember, these rebels have never won. That was their first victory.
Up until this point, they had never won a battle.
It was stated in canon that they had never won a battle. This was their first victory.
And what a victory it was!
It really was. Also, I love jumping to hyperspace, and then the ship, and then the Imperial cruiser shows up, and they crash into the Imperial cruiser. I thought that was awesome.
I loved that they crashed into the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And just rammed it into the other one.
It was very clever. That's a clever way of doing it.
I did have a slight problem with it, though. I was like, I don't think a ship that small could push one that big. But then again, I don't know all the specs and stuff.
Well, first off, you're in space, and that cruiser's engines were off.
Oh, that's right. Was its engines off?
Yeah, its engines were off. Remember, it got cut off, and that's why they did it. They said, his engine's off, we can do this now. Also, another thing, why weren't they going for the Stargate to start with? Why weren't they going with... I said Stargate, sorry. Why weren't they going for the Shield Gate to start with?
I don't know why they weren't going
because
they
had to get... They're trying to get the signal out to get... To tell them to target the Shield Gate, but they were just targeting the shields. Why weren't they targeting the Shield Gate to start with?
I couldn't answer that.
I mean, that's one. It adds an element to the storytelling, of course, but that's just bad generaling. You're being a bad general.
Yeah, it makes sense to go for the Shield Gate instead of directly for the shield itself.
Yeah.
If you take down the Shield Gate, the whole shield comes down.
Yeah, they're just trying to poke a hole in the shield. Oh, I loved seeing Red 5 and Gold Leader in there too.
Oh my God, yes, and Blue Leader.
Yes.
Just all of it. I was so excited when they all showed up. I was like, yes, thank you.
And it made sense. It made sense for them to show up because these were the leader pilots. They had to have been in it. You know?
Yeah, these are like the head pilots of each team. They have to be there.
Yeah. Also, one more thing. You know how I said how this movie should be for the was for the fans of the Clone Wars and Rebels, but we never saw a character, a unique character from the Rebels. Only one from Clone Wars. We never saw a character from Rebels. I thought that was really good. I'm glad we didn't see any of the Ghost crew. I can't
really speak for Rebels because
I wouldn't have wanted to see a Ghost crew member in the movie. I'm glad we didn't see one. We got subtle mentions that they were in the battle. But see, the one reason why I don't like to see everything connected is the fact that it takes away from the scale of it. This is a massive alliance against a even more massive empire. These are thousands of people in this alliance. And if you only pay attention to couple of dozen of them, it takes away from the scale. I'd like to see the massive amount of people, new introductions
you get to
of
see
soldiers.
A few people here, and then a few people there, and then a few people there. It's like, and they're all scattered.
Yeah, these are not all best buds. Not all these people even know or even know each other exist.
Most of these people don't even know each other.
Yeah, they don't even know each other. They just know that they're all part of the same alliance. And if you're sitting here and tell me that every sergeant in the military knows each other, that's false. Not every sergeant in the military knows each other, because there's thousands of sergeants in the military. And this is a alliance way bigger than the U.S. military. So if you're going to sit here and tell me that every commander in there knows each other and every commander knows all the soldiers, well, that takes away from the scale.
I would have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, it takes away from the scale. That's why I like seeing a lot of new. That's why I like seeing new Imperial commanders all the time. Like, of course, seeing Tarkin, he had to, because he's the headmaster of the entire Imperial Army. He even outranks, at one point, Darth Vader.
Yeah, but outranking Darth Vader doesn't mean anything when you know he can kill you.
No, yes, but it does when you know that Darth Sidious will kill Darth Vader if Darth Vader kills you.
It's an awkward balance. It's a
very awkward balance.
An awkward balance, and not only that, it's very tedious, because if one person makes a wrong move, the whole thing collapses.
Yeah.
I loved the tagline for the film too. A rebellion is built on hope.
Yeah, it was. I thought the end line was kind of cheesy. It brings us hope, and I know it's like, oh, a new hope, but no, dude. Luke was the new hope, not the disc, not the plans. I thought that was a little cheesy.
I did like the way Jin and Andor die.
How Jin and Cassian Andor, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said Endor at first.
No, Andor.
Yeah.
I love the way.
Was it a love story? I never put it together as a love story. I don't think
it was a love story. I think it was two friends.
Yeah,
I think it was a friendship connection.
I agree with that.
And they just embraced and they said goodbye, like goodbye, old friend, or like.
I fear now that we're gonna get the whole they were lovers or they loved each other thing. I don't want that.
People are gonna say that. I don't think they did. I don't
think so.
From the bottom of my heart, I really think it was a friendship.
Dude, you know what I've heard already? I've heard that Baze and Chirrut were gay lovers already.
That what?
That Chirrut, the blind guy, and Baze were gay guys. Were gay for each other.
No.
I've already heard that. It's like, dude, I never got that. It's like, and I heard some review, I forgot who it was who reviewed it, but they said, we feel like they were more than friends. We feel like they could have been more than friends. Like, dude, no, they were freaking friends. All right.
You know what I viewed that relationship as? I viewed it as
they were brothers.
Honestly, I viewed it as I viewed it as the master student.
I didn't view it as that. I saw them as just friends that are beyond friends and now brothers.
I viewed it as the master student because he had a lot of respect. They had a lot of respect for each other.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But the blind dude knew so much more, and and for lack of a better term, he had faith in everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter how bad they were, that they had good. And the other one, he just kind of couldn't see it.
Yeah, but Baze also had something that the blind guy didn't have, and that was strength and guns.
Yeah.
Also, watching Chirrut fight with his staff was awesome.
Oh my God, yes, the staff was great. I loved that he kind of walked forward with his staff like as a blind dude looking for the switch.
Yeah. And then he went on the board and he couldn't feel it and he had to feel where it was and then pull it down.
So I really thought K2SO was going to be the new Jar Jar Binks at first.
He was great.
I was really scared at first because he kept doing like these witty lines and I was great. No. But then he became so funny.
His death was the most impactful.
Well executed.
Yeah, that was the most impactful. He didn't get a last embrace. Like I said, he died like a dog, but we loved it, you know? It had the little slow motion hitting the ground.
It was good.
Music score. Oh, that was amazing. And he had so funny lines. His sarcasm was so on point.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Much better than Jar Jar Binks.
I wouldn't even compare him to Jar Jar Binks. I think he was better than C-3PO. Not better than R2, better than C-3PO, though.
The R2 is just a...
Well, R2, he's the OG droid. You're never going to beat him.
That's not entirely true.
No, but
he can be beat, but it'll be
he
hard.
can be beat in a single movie, but I don't think he could be beat overall.
I'm trying to find it on the wiki.
Share your screen. Share your screen.
No, I'm looking for a specific thing. It's I'm looking for a character name.
Which one? What did they play?
Not a character. The name for the plans of the Death Star. What was it called again?
Stardust.
Stardust. That's what it was. I thought that was a little cheesy.
It was, but it fit because he kept calling her Stardust. I thought him calling her Stardust was cheesy, but once the plans were made, it's like, oh, that's why they kept calling her Stardust, is because they wanted to get that in there. They wanted that moment. They wanted
to get that across.
Yeah, they wanted that moment. But I think that calling her Stardust 5 times in the movie was too much. It seemed like...
although then again, we might not understand it because we're not parents.
Yeah. Yeah, we may not, and like I got my nickname around the house too, but I still think that was a little cheesy. It was too lovey-dovey to me.
I like I love the location that Wikipedia has it set as 0 days before A New Hope.
No, it's 0 years before A New Hope. 0 year, or it happened.
0 BBY.
Yeah, and then ended 0 BBY.
Days before A New Hope.
That's
but, I
good.
mean, it ends on the same day A New Hope starts. So.
Yeah, it does. Well, yes, we don't know that. We don't know that it was the same day. It could be a day and a half after.
I don't think it likely, but...
Well, they got to get from Scarif to Tatooine.
Lightspeed.
I know that, but Lightspeed still takes time.
It doesn't take that long, though.
It takes a couple of hours.
To get from Scarif to Tatooine? It'll take a few hours, but I don't think it'll take a whole day. Because when...
Ben just called me, by the way.
Ben's calling?
Yeah, Ben just called me.
No, because... I don't know. He probably called me as well. Let me check my phone.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't called me yet.
Yeah, I just hung up on him. I don't know what he wants.
But to get from Scarif to Tatooine, I don't think it would take that long. Let me go Scarif to Tatooine.
Hey, share your screen. Share your screen so the fans can see.
Okay.
To do that, the little double 3-dot thing, and you click share screen.
Share screen.
All right.
Okay. Can you see my screen still?
It'll pop up in a sec. I can't see your screen.
Yeah.
Oh well, where are you trying to get to?
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Oh, yep, I see it. Okay.
Is it working now?
Yeah, it's working.
Wikipedia. I'm looking up Scarif first. I'm trying to find its location versus Tatooine's. Secluded in tropical planet in the outer rim used by the Galactic Empire to house construction in the first place.
That would make sense because Tatooine's also in the outer rim. Yeah, Tatooine's also in the outer rim.
We'll just double check that. Shit. Come on, Wikipedia, help me out here. I don't know how to spell.
So do you think? I know you don't pay attention to Rebels, but I'm gonna pin this out to you. Do you think the Battle of Scarif will be the end of Rebels also? Will be the end of the Ghost Crew?
Is Rebels supposed to end before New Hope?
No one specified. It just takes place currently in the season 3. I think it's a year out from New Hope. But I bet you.
Well, assuming it ends very soon, I would think it would end actually before the
Rogue
Battle of
One.
Scarif.
Okay. I would think it'd be cool to see them in Scarif, like never really, and just be called in to help Rogue One, never interact with Rogue One whatsoever, never interact with the crew, but be in the battle in the sky, because we did see their ship in the sky battle. In the
Tatooine
space
was
battle.
sparsely inhabited desert planet located in the galaxy's outer rim territories.
Hey, click on yeah, they're both in the outer rim, yeah. So they're not too far from each other.
What do you want me to click on?
Or click on outer rim territory, see if we can find a map.
A map of it?
Yeah.
See if we can get an idea of Scarif to Tatooine and how far that is.
I mean, the outer rim can be pretty far away from each other, but I don't think it is. I don't think in this situation.
I don't think it. I think in this situation they'll be less than a day's travel.
Yeah.
Nope, there it is. There's the map. A simplified map of the galaxy.
Where's Tatooine at?
My computer's being
Also,
really slow,
look,
so you gotta give me a second.
that little shot, that wasn't even in the movie. That shot to your right.
This one?
No, yeah, that one. That one's not even in the movie.
I think it was a trailer scene.
It was, but that was one of the reshoots. That was one of the shots they reshot. That whole scene wasn't even in the movie. Nor was the line, we're rebels, aren't we? Well, I rebel. That line from the original trailer wasn't even in the movie. I liked that. Because I hated that line.
So there's the inner rim, the core, the colonies, the expansion of regions, the mid rim. Here's the outer rim. There's Dagobah. Naboo.
Hoth is to your left. Yeah, there's Tatooine. I would imagine.
Tatooine, and way over here
is Hoth.
I would imagine it'd be somewhere around here.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. Right in this area. I'm circling
near Bothwell.
Yeah, I'm circling above your little cursor. You can't see it, but the people viewing the stream can. I think it'll be about right here. That's what would make sense to me.
I mean, that doesn't look like it'd be too far, because I mean, to get from where's Hoth?
It's to your left.
Left.
It should be to your left over. See the two planets right next to each other. I can't see what they say because it's so.
I see Endor.
Yeah, it's to the left of Endor. It should be right around
Endor.
there. Yeah, it should be somewhere around there. Hoth is.
Oh, here it is. Here's Hoth. Yeah. Luke got from Hoth to Dagobah in about a day.
Yeah, so yeah, I can see it taking about a day.
So if Scarif is about here, and this is Tatooine, and what does that say? Oh, Geonosis.
Yeah, Geonosis.
What the fuck? Geonosis, is that what it says? I can't read it from here. If Scarif is about there, then that easily less than a day.
Mm-hmm.
To go from here to here.
The environment of Scarif, though, the beaches, it was so good because it reminded me so much of D-Day.
It did.
Also, did you ever notice when they were in the jungle, the soldiers looked more like modern soldiers, like modern U.S. soldiers? And then when they were on the beaches, they looked like World War II soldiers.
I also noticed one thing just because I used to live in Florida, so
yeah,
it really reminded me of when I lived in Florida. It was like, oh look, there's a. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing now.
All right, but another good thing about it. Did you notice the death sticks in his helmet, in one of the soldiers' helmets? He had cigarettes. Yeah, he had death sticks in his helmet, 2 of them. What a fantastic, yeah. I guess that's what happens when you smoke death sticks. But
shut up.
I thought it was fantastic. That was just a great little detail. Like, these are actual soldiers. None of their uniforms were exactly the same. I mean, these were the actual soldiers on the ground. These are guys who were going to fight and die, you know?
Oh, I loved on the Death Star and for the Rebels that they put on the original outfits.
Yes. All right, I felt like Darth Vader's helmet was a little off to me.
I didn't think so.
The first few times you see him, I felt like where it connects to the cape, where his helmet's on the cape, right there, it kept distracting me. I don't know, I can't pin anything on it. It just felt just a tad bit off.
I'll have to pay attention to that next time.
But Vader was done
that James Earl Jones came back.
Yes. Yeah, that was good. I mean, I'm looking at comparisons now. I'm looking at the comparisons now, and I guess going back, it's not that bad, but for some reason, it just felt just a tad bit off.
Strange.
All right, but the Vader in the hallway, obviously one of our high points the entire movie.
Oh yes, absolutely.
When she walked out, when Jen walked out to the satellite, and you just saw the air dogfight going on in the air, and the noise and all that stuff, that was fantastic. And the U-wing crashing on the beach.
Yes. Like everything that happened on Scarif for like
the last 45 minutes. Last 45 minutes is probably one of the best battle scenes I've ever seen. My only point in the entire 45 minutes is needed more blood. That to be a more realistic war scene, it needed blood. That's my only thing against it. Other than that, it was beautiful.
Because again, the only time, at least that I can recall, that we've ever seen blood is at the beginning of episode 7.
Also 4. When Obi-Wan cuts the guy's arm off in the cantina, and you see blood coming out of his arm. When the arm's on the ground.
But it's always such a minuscule
No, it
amount.
is. And it's not Star Wars to have blood, but I would have loved to seen it because this is a war movie first. It should be treated to me as a war movie first, a Star Wars movie second.
Yeah, but they can't do that.
They can't
Star Wars is too big.
No, and I agree, they can't do that for money reasons because it would be too far off. But if I would have my perfect movie, it'd be a war movie set in the Star Wars universe, not a Star Wars movie set around a war.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I feel like we've covered most of the film. Or most of the high and low points. I mean, we could talk about the crash on what was the planet when it was raining? What was it? Where Jen's dad died. I didn't really go over that, but that was kind of short.
You know what I just saw?
What?
I don't think we got any video from this entire stream. Hold on.
You just saw what?
I don't think we got any video.
Oh, are you serious?
Hold on, I'm just get out of that.
I couldn't find us earlier, so.
Yeah. Either way, I'm gonna stop it. I think we can. I think I saved video anyways. So.
All right.
We'll stop it. Hey, either way, it's a good test run. I'll cut the beginning and end out if we did save it. If not, it's a good test run. Okay.
Yeah, we can just use this as our how does the audio sound? How does?
No, it is, and it's a great conversation. I'm gonna stop it now. I'm gonna see if I can save it. If not, because I don't know why, but I gotta master getting it to come out. Because the first time we did a stream, I don't remember how I did it. I don't remember exactly how I did it.